You're tuned into All2ReelToo. Be sure to subscribe, download, share the show with a friend, and stop by all2reeltoo.com for our social links, Patreon, and TeePublic store info.
Hi, I'm Chris.
And I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Fergal.
And we're from Movie Smash.
Comic book movies are having a golden age right now with the MCU.
Movies based on comics aren't necessarily a new thing, but they're a big thing.
Join us every other Tuesday on Movie Smash.
We explore these movies and find some hidden gems.
Every other week, we revisit some of the best.
And some of the worst movies based on comics or graphic novels.
Was Green Lantern as bad as you remember?
Heck no!
Is Time Cop the most accurate time travel movie ever created?
Absolutely.
Was Mystery Men way ahead of its time?
Should they be revisited? Should they be forgotten?
Join us on Movie Smash and find out. Listen wherever you find your fine podcasts.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the latest episode of All2ReelToo. My name is Michael E. Cullen II, and with me, as always, is...
Sesame. I am glad that we are past the era of kids' movies that had really inappropriate stuff involved, like up to and including like weird age gap type pseudo relationship and or crushes where the adult should be the mature one, pun intended, in the situation. Be like, hey, I can see that this kid's got a crush on me. It's kind of cute. Everyone does that when they're a little kid. But like, I should be the one to be like, hey, I'm flattered, but like, we can't do that because it's wrong. And, meet someone your own age and, and that kind of stuff. And,
yeah,
not actively kiss said kid on the lips for any long of a time, too long for that type of kiss, but certainly an extended amount of time kiss, and then say, call me in 10 years, which would make the kid 21 years old and you would be 41, and then you end up bargaining down to 7 and then 6, which it was on the kid's 12th birthday, so technically it'd be 18. I was thinking 17, but I forgot that it was his birthday. Encarta.
That was a long name.
I think it was the longest name.
I think I forgot where I am.
I think that was my longest name. By the way, in Europe, the movie we're about to review, they called it Blank Check, but they spelled it with a Q-U-E. Ooh, being fancy.
Yeah. Well, that's how Czech is actually spelled in almost every other country besides ours.
Yeah, of course, because we always got these things stupid today.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, we are reviewing Blank Check. Sorry if I ruined it.
So yeah, today on the show, we are covering the 1994 film Blank Check, a Disney film.
Mm-hmm. Somehow.
Yes. The movie, synopsis here from the Internet Movie Database says, after a bike accident, a young boy inadvertently gains possession of a check for $1 million and proceeds to spend it, unaware that the gangsters it belongs to are in pursuit. And then he kisses a 31-year-old woman, not girl, because I don't want to get, woman. Yeah. So anyway, so that's not in the description. Okay, so
no, it's not. That's a good thing on this.
This was directed by Rupert Wainwright. No relation to the singer Rupert Wainwright.
Okay.
But when I saw that, I was like, "Is he the singer?" The rockabye guy. He's a British filmmaker. He directed Stigmata, bunch of music videos and shit. like stuff like that. Wolf Lake did the MC Hammer 2 legit music videos.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. He did a bunch of music videos, it looks like. And Blank Check is like, it looks like the first. Well, no, he did a TV movie called Dillinger.
Okay.
He directed videos for like NWA and Hammer and then J-Lo.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's still working. It looks like he did a music video for Heroes Ukraine last year, and
All right. Okay.
David Bowie's Heroes Ukraine. I don't know what that is, but anyways, yeah.
Just really quick.
Yeah, David Bowie. Go ahead.
I was wrong. According to Disney.fandom.com/backslash wiki/blank_check. I don't know why I had to. It says the film then cuts to 10-year-old Preston Waters. At the end of the movie, it's his 11th birthday. He says, calm in 6 years. 11 plus 6 is 17. And she works at a bank, or supposedly. Yeah. So, what did I don't even want to research this because I don't want to be on a watch list. But like, what state does
no? Nowhere is this okay.
What's it? Oh.
Nowhere is any of this okay.
It doesn't say where it's
this was written by Blake Snyder and Colby Carr. They did stuff. Okay, so like Blake Snyder wrote "Stop or My Mom Will Shoot."
That's a weird movie.
Yes, it is. Blake Snyder. Okay, so here is something really interesting. Blake Snyder is one of the most influential screenwriters in history.
Okay.
And he only wrote 2 screenplays. Blank Check and Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. And he wrote he wrote for the TV series Kids Incorporated. But he wrote the book. Yeah, no, but here's the thing. He wrote the book called Save the Cat.
Okay.
Which is the standard book used by most screenwriters on screenwriting style, and it's an amazing book. I've read it like 3 times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's basically influenced more screenwriters than almost anybody. And the movies he wrote were Stop or My Mom Will Shoot and Blank Check. I never knew this when I read the book because I never really paid attention to what he had written, but maybe I wouldn't have read the book if that was the case. But his standard of Save the Cat, which is like a style of writing, the idea of it's like I always, when I write, I use a Save the Cat beat sheet idea, like where I break down my screenplay. Yeah, it's the thing is, a lot of people don't subscribe to it anymore, but it was so popular for such a long time. But the very short description of it is Save the Cat is a story structure method that breaks stories down into 15 beats. Blueprint where writers can easily follow to craft engaging, well-paced stories with satisfying character arcs, whether those stories be screenplays, novels, novellas, memoirs, stage plays, short stories. So like, it's influenced more than just screenwriting, but like almost all writing in the last probably like 30 or so years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he wrote Blank Check along with Colby Carr, who wrote Blank Check. That's it. This movie stars Brian Bonsall as Preston Waters, Karen Duffy as Shay Stanley, James Rehorn as Fred Waters, Jane Atkinson as Sandra Waters, Michael Bostino as Ralph Waters, Chris Dementrell as Damian Waters, Miguel Ferrer as Quigley, Michael Lerner as Biederman, Tone Loc as Juice, Rick Dukelman as Henry, Alex Zuckerman as Butch, Alex Morris as Riggs, Debbie Allen as Yvonne, and others. So, yeah. So, initial thoughts here, Sesame.
Okay.
Check.
Initial thoughts are, man. Okay, so I did look it up. I'm probably going to be on the watch list now. So apparently, even in Texas back then, which is when it took place in Texas and was made in Texas, the age of consent was 17 then and now. So technically, him waiting for 6 years from 11, but still, really, we're cutting it really short there. I mean, come on, like, why would you anyway? That seems odd to me. That like they were that thorough about the laws of age of consent and dating that they're like, no, we gotta make sure it's exactly at least 6 years in order for it to be real. Or
Nina's really creepy, but I think you're like reading more into it than anybody else.
I'm not reading. Are you kidding me? Did you not see the movie of how she was looking at him and I mean, after the water?
What I'm saying is, I think you're reading into the dialogue more than anybody else ever has.
I don't think I have. I'm pretty sure there's someone else out there who's written like a huge tome to this. I'm not really reading that much into it. I'm just going by what people say. Okay, like if people want to say weird shit, that's on them. I'm not the bad guy for listening to what people say. They're the bad people for saying, right? Like I'm not gonna be gaslit into saying I'm bad for understanding what the words that are coming out of people's mouths are, right? Blame the people saying the words, the weird words about waiting and like I swear to God, there's a scene in there. I'm not even talking about the ending. There's like multiple scenes that are very uncomfortable where like the restaurant scene. I think I haven't gotten to you about my feelings.
Oh, yeah. So besides the whole kissing scene, what do you think of this movie?
The movie was okay. I mean, like I remember watching this a lot when I was a kid, but I don't even remember. I don't even really remember it. Pretty much anything, and including the weird stuff like that. I don't even remember. I just remember liking it. I remember the name. I remember wanting to watch it a lot when I was like, it was again like 1994, so I would have been like maybe like 11 years old. 11 years old, probably the same age as fucking Preston right here. And then but like, hey, I don't remember anything else about it. Literally nothing. Completely. No, I guess there's the little things here. Like again, like what the other movie we watched recently, where it was like the little odd things that I would remember from a movie that are very insignificant. What did we review last week? I'm not sure if you uploaded it yet, but what was it? It was whatever, doesn't matter.
So when this like scene resurfaced, they're not resurfaced, but like became popular on social media a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
A couple years ago, viewers were like, seeing it on Disney Plus and like kind of freaking out about the fact that,
right.
11-year-old is kissing a 31-year-old. Some fans online had said, just watch Blank Check on Disney Plus, and what the hell? They need to pull this movie off the platform. Like, how is this even okay? Gross. Another wrote, how is the scene in a Disney movie? A third chimed in, Blank Check on Disney Plus showed a grown woman kissing, flirting, and going on dates with a 12-year-old. What the fuck? A fourth commented, Disney was out of line for this. Shay Stanley kissing Preston Waters. Lord, he was 12.
11, actually.
Yeah. While a fifth added, so they can keep Blank Check on Disney Plus, which has real child kiss a grown adult, but cannot have a PG-13 Lizzie McGuire reboot, because there was a development on a Lizzie McGuire reboot that would have been PG-13, and they didn't think it fit their mold.
They probably forgot about this movie, to be honest.
Yeah. So Brian Bonsall responded, and he totally doesn't even address the issue. He just says, the actor shared a Facebook post saying, I had an absolute blast filming this movie. Everyone was a joy to work with. And it's awesome to see so many people still enjoy it.
Oh my God.
Best way to respond to it, though. I mean, in my opinion, like, just don't answer it.
You don't That's the thing too. Don't even dignify shit with a response in science. Like, don't because
because no matter what he would have said on the issue, it wouldn't have been taken the right way. So,
and you talk about the guy who played Preston.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's the thing. When you're a kid, yeah, it's like hot older woman or whatever. You got like crushing your teacher. Yeah, you're gonna be like feeling like like almost triumphant. Like yeah, but like it's still weird. Like if they asked her what she thought, I bet it'd be a different answer that she'd get probably about that scene. And
Bonsell had I don't know if I wonder if she's ever responded to it. But Karen Duffy. But post acting, Bonsell, he retired from acting in 1995, like a year or so after this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then just went into like regular high school and stuff. He became a musician, forming the rock band The Late Boomers with his friends in 1998. Then he's been in Boulder, Colorado-based punk bands Thruster and The Light on Adams Stereo. In 2016, he became a member and toured with the rock band The Ataris.
I've heard of them.
I saw them in concert. Yeah. I saw them at Frankie's in Toledo.
Okay.
But it was before 2016, so I know he wasn't in the band at the time. So,
no, they've been around for like
yeah, pretty good concert. They that same year, he had been clean and sober since he had a 2010 arrest. He had been arrested for run-ins with the law for a while. He was arrested for charges of assaulting his partner. He was sentenced to 2 years of probation. He was really messed up on drugs and alcohol. Not that I'm using that as an excuse, but
is what it is.
Yeah, and he was it was mainly just that, and he was like on 2 years of probation for it, and then he got clean and sober, and he's been clean and sober since 2010.
All right, that's cool.
He also had someone steal his identity. So, yeah. Oops.
It's super bizarre. Very bizarre.
Yeah, very bizarre. I'm looking this up really quick. Yeah. So basically, what happened was, I'm just getting this all out up front. I watched a documentary about it. He had a serial rapist who impersonated him to lure his victims. So somebody was claiming to be him and then drugging and raping women. Yeah. So yeah, I recommend watching. There's a documentary series called Hollywood Demons. There's an episode called Child Stars Gone Violent.
Oh wow.
I'd watch that. They talk about it in that episode. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This movie. You want to talk about it, or?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Movie.
So, observations about the movie, man.
Okay. I mean, it was okay. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that great. It was just like aside from the weird shit that could potentially be illegal, that's put on the film, which would render a certain type of contraband that's called anyway. Stuff like that. It was just interesting that it's just on streaming platforms. Then again, our government also just put stuff out there that was really bad shit. Anyway, apparently there's no rules anymore, is what I'm trying to say. But like,
well, I mean, they weren't on Epstein's Island. They were just in a fancy castle. So
a fancy castle, exactly. The stupid looking castle. Looked like some New York Times bullshit. But anyway, it was okay. I mean,
a castle that is now owned by filmmaker Robert Rodriguez, by the way.
Now it's owned by it was okay. It was just like a normal, aside from the weird shit, like kid gets rich and he got to buy a bunch of shit because he got money now. But the deeper meaning behind it, if there is one or not, I don't know, is like how terrible this kid's family treated him, particularly his dad and his two brothers. So it starts off pretty much, his dad is now letting his two older sons essentially take over Preston's room because they're, quote, starting a business and they're like 15 or some shit. And they need a computer, and for some reason the computer can't fit in their own bedroom. I don't really understand why, but like, okay. And so he's like, Preston's like, hey, I kind of want my own room. To like, fuck you. They didn't say that or whatever, but like, and this kind of shows though that the lack of boundaries this family has, especially when it comes to relations. Like, I can sort of understand why Preston later on would not be able to understand that because of the model that was being, well, not really a model. It wasn't being modeled for him, but like the absence of a model of how to act in certain ways. Because like, so right out of the gate. Oh, go ahead.
I said, yeah.
Right. So right out of the gate, the dad is like, hey, I started my own business, my first business when I was 12 years old or whatever, and blah 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 blah, and a penny saved is a penny earned, or like super into like investing and like everything, like all his ducks in a row, whatever. And he's like, this machine will teach you to do everything but make love to a woman, he says to his 10-year-old kid. And then the mom comes in right after that, overhearing that, and then says, well, now I know what to get for your father for Christmas or his birthday. I'm like, hey, you're talking to a 10-year-old right now. Baby, don't talk like that in front of him.
This is a PG film.
PG film, Disney. And so that right out of the gate probably put Preston on a bad path right now, because he's like, oh, apparently it's normal to just talk like this. I didn't know why. And so that's child abuse part number one. That boundary pushing. So there you go. That's number. There's a lot of CPS are going to have a lot to have evidence against this family.
I have a question though about this whole ducks in a row thing.
Yeah, what is that phrase? I mean, I know what it means, but like
how I've never seen anybody put ducks in a row. I just don't understand it. Why would you do that?
I like the fact though that like Preston's driver later on starts making observations like that too about like these weird sayings.
I know.
Don't really make any sense, even though like what they mean, like kill two birds with one stone. He's like, how many people have killed even one bird with one stone, let alone two birds? And why would you want to, stuff like that? That was kind of, I like that guy. He was pretty funny. But like,
idioms are always funny to figure out where they come from. Yeah.
And so that's abuse number one. Financial abuse is number two of the family. So Preston is forced to go to a birthday party of his bully for some reason. I don't know why that would be a thing that you would have to go to your bully's birthday party, but it was at a amusement park and he didn't have any money. I'm like, okay, so wait, not only are you forcing your 10-year-old son to go to a birthday party of his bully, you're making him go to a place that requires the spending of money in order to actually do the party, and he doesn't have any money. Like, what are you doing? And then he's like, oh, I'll give you a couple bucks. That can go a long way or whatever. I'm like, okay. So he's sitting there counting his tokens. He could barely ride anything except for like the really little kid rides. And they're all making fun of him because of it. I'm like, okay, so what was the intention? Was it just to humiliate your son? Was that so? Okay, so abuse number three.
Just that if you would like to recreate this this experience, you can go to Six Flags Fiesta, Texas, where it was filmed.
Yeah, and so that was stupid. And then they made fun of him for that, and they stole his tokens, I think, at one point, or they're trying to steal his tokens. I don't remember exactly.
I'm trying to get Six Flags to sponsor us. Six Flags Fiesta, Texas.
Yeah, please sponsor us, please. I went to one in Chicago. It was all right. Not as good as Cedar Point. It was okay.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, now they're all one company. So, because Six Flags,
that's right.
Company. Yeah. So, Six Flags. Your next thrilling adventure awaits at Six Flags Fiesta, Texas. Plan to explore pulse-pounding attractions, a water park, games, and more. Go to sixflags.com/Fiesta, Texas. See, we can write ads.
We can do ads. I mean, come on, who says we can't do ads? I mean, obviously we could do it. We've been doing this for like 8 years. Like,
tell them we sent you. It's not going to help us at all, but tell them.
Well, it might help us in the long run, but we'll never know.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if they get much business these days. I don't know how many people go to amusement parks anymore, but probably
they're still pretty popular. So
they are okay. Well, I haven't been to one since 2000. So
yeah, I haven't been to one.
Last time I went to Cedar Point was 2000.
Last time I went to Cedar Point, I lost my glasses on the Magnum.
Damn.
Yeah. Went there, but I got to go on all the rides right away. Like we had somebody walking us right onto the rides because I was there with a radio station. So
yeah, man. Yeah, love that shit. So the movie really starts picking up when Preston's grandmother sends him like a pre-birthday check, and it's a blank check. She probably forgot to write the amount or whatever.
Yeah.
So Dad's like, "Oh well, I'll write $10 and whatever," and then Preston goes, well, "What about inflation?" He goes, "Okay, $11." I'm like, "Oh my!" And so like
inflation in a year.
yeah. And so but then the thing is, he tells him to immediately take the check to the bank, to then create a savings bank account so that it could quote accrue interest. $11. He's like, "It'd be amazing how $11 can accrue with interest." And even he looks it up, it's like 300 years or some shit like that to $1 million. I don't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Like 3,000 years or something like that. And at like a 3.85% or something like that in his little computer program that he got. And I'm like, okay, so you can't even allow your son to enjoy in 1994, even $11 is not that much. I mean, it was nothing. It was like what now $11 would be like what 30, maybe $25. It's still nothing, and you can't really do much with that. And so he goes to the bank. By the way, he just sent you. Are you looking it up?
Yes.
$11, 1994 money or something like that. 1994 money.
94.
$24. I was right. $24.26.
$24.26.
Yeah, that was close. All right. So a little bit over double. It's just if you had a lot of money, that would be nice. Like let's say if you invested 5,000, now it's 10,000. That's pretty decent. But $11, it's not even worth it. And so this is also the era of movies.
$11 from last year. You know how much it's worth now?
Like $10 probably, or $9, something like that.
No, it's 11.17. So it actually did kind of increase.
It actually went up
1.5%.
But also everything costs more now, so it doesn't actually.
But it's not really
anything that actually.
No.
Actually, the value goes down. Actually,
yeah,
depending on the context. But like anyway, so this is like the era of the '90s and stuff too, where like kids were just allowed to just go places by themselves, like around town, around the city, like like just no supervision.
This movie it leaves a lot of questions about the fact that no one questions anything in this movie that this 10-year-old kid is doing.
Literally nothing is questioned, other than like, oh, that seems kind of weird, or that's interesting, like, and that's it. Like even the driver. So hot FBI agent, spoiler alert, hot FBI agent, 31-year-old smoke show, pretends to work at the bank because she's on a job, and she's looking at potential like bank fraud or whatever. Because I forgot to mention the very beginning of the movie, this ex-convict escapes prison. He goes to a stash where he put $1 million in before he got arrested. He takes it to the bank to this guy named Biederman, who's like a corrupt banker dude, and he basically wants to launder the money. He's going to send this guy named Juice, played by Tone Loc, to pick up said money the next day. And so what happens is Preston, he goes, beats the hot bank teller / FBI agent, is immediately smitten by her, as any boy would be. For an older woman, who's obviously attractive.
Duffy had a successful year that year, a career year that year. She was also in Dumb and Dumber that year as well.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. And,
I just saw that recently on the big screen, and met Fred Stoller, who was in the movie, along with meeting the late Robert Carradine. But yeah, I just remember I was like, that's Karen Duffy. I forgot she was in that movie.
Yeah, she played the one that was like one of the crooks or whatever.
She was one of the main crooks. Yeah,
right. Yeah. So she's like, "Hey, I'm sorry. You got to have at least."
Both characters were named Shay, by the way, in this movie and in that movie.
That's bizarre. It's the same year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's very strange. Yeah, and so she's like, "I'm sorry. You got to have at least $200 to make an account." can't really create an account just for $11. Like, oh, he's like, well, I'll come back maybe tomorrow or something. And she's like, okay, bye, blah blah blah, whatever. So he goes, he's like, kind of sad. For some reason, his bully just happened to be in the bank parking lot riding bikes for some reason. Not sure if that's like a regular hangout for bullies, like 10-year-old bullies that hang out in bank parking lots, I guess. I don't know. And so he steals the check from Preston. Then there's like a full-on bike race. The dude, the bad guy, whatever his name was, Quigley, he's the guy who had just come in putting the money in like different bills or whatever. He wants in exchange for other bills to make it look less suspicious. And then he backs into Preston his bike, and then he gives Preston a blank check. Oh, there's 2 blank checks. What? The first one was a fake out. And then
wait a second. I think they should have called this movie Blank Check, because then that would make sense.
Well, it is called Blank Check.
Oh yeah, duh. I'm joking.
No, it is called, yeah. And so like everyone's like a whole crowd is forming before them. He doesn't want the attention because he's literally he's on the lam. That's the other one, on the lam. He's on the lam, and like he's like, "This, you take this check. Your dad will know. Your dad will know what to do with it. It's a blank check. Basically, have the same problem all over again. Have another $11 filled out by his dad. Blah 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 blah." So he goes home. He goes to his little computer. He has the idea of like, what if I just write $1 million and just fucking blank check and just see if it works or whatever. So 10-year-olds committing bank fraud right now. So that's interesting. And so he prints it out. He does he makes it look legit. Basically, he uses a computer program to make it look real. He goes to the bank the next day. Doesn't get the hot FBI agent. Tell her now he's got some old lady who's really mean and whatever. And she's like, "Oh, a comedian, come with me." Takes him to the Biederman's office upstairs. Biederman thinks this is where the movie really goes off the rails, and actually goes off the rails plenty of times. He, in his brilliant mind, thinks, "Oh, this is Juice, the guy he sent a 10-year-old kid get the money for him." Because, yeah, of course I would believe something like that, right?
Yeah.
What? Who would? Okay, whatever. And he's like, he's such a genius. Who would have thought of that? No one would have thought about that.
To hire a kid as your muscle or whatever.
No one would think of that because it would be stupid and it wouldn't make any sense. But Biederman, here you go. He's just stuffing that shit in the bag like it's no tomorrow. Meanwhile, Juice, played by Tone Loc, is being very sexually pervy. He's looking at women,
Tone Loc, who was in another problematic movie starring Jim Carrey, which, is the star of Dumb and Dumber. He was in Ace Ventura. But yeah. Yeah.
Tone Loc is perving on all the women. He's leering at them. He's making inappropriate comments about bodies. In 1994, apparently that was okay, I guess, back then. Not really. And then,
okay, because he rapped Wild Things, so it's okay.
Wild Things, which is like a semi-decent song, not really, but it's okay, guys. And then, so boom, get this, Juice and Preston, they cross paths in the same hallway. What's gonna happen? Shit. And then Preston actually drops the bag because he runs into Juice, and Juice is like, "What are you doing? You should be in school, kid," or whatever. Like, why would? Okay, my whole thing with that is, okay, you think a kid played hooky. Why would a kid play hooky and then go to a fucking bank?
So do you want to guess some of the people that were considered for the role of Juice?
Of Juice, sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Do you want to guess anybody?
I want to guess Martin Lawrence.
Yep, you got one of them right.
I got one right. Okay. Well, that was around the time when he was really, big, popular at that time. Anyone else? Let me see here. Jamie Foxx, maybe?
No, I think it was a little bit before his big time.
Before his big break? Martin Lawrence, Sinbad?
No, surprisingly.
No? That would have been actually good. I think that would have actually been a good.
Yeah,
I think that would have been better than Tone Loc.
So here are the people that were considered for the role.
Okay.
Bernie Mac.
Nah.
Biz Markie, the rapper. Yeah, he was a rapper who had the song. What was it? Say he's just a friend.
Okay, yeah,
yeah. You got what I need. Anyways, Chris Rock.
Okay.
Chris Faison Love.
Maybe.
Ice-T.
No.
Ice Cube.
No.
John Witherspoon.
Who's that?
He was the like dad character in Friday.
No, come on, that's not. No.
Lawrence Fishburne.
No. Come on.
Samuel L. Jackson.
No, are they just choosing black actors just because they're black? Like none of these people act like each other at all.
And this last one is the weirdest of them all. But then again, he was in a movie that we covered that was weird. Tupac Shakur.
Oh my god, that's right. He was in Nothing But
Trouble.
That was his first film role.
Yeah,
which is really weird.
I'm just picturing this movie with Tupac.
Like all these people are too serious. Like Tone Loc, I guess, was the happy medium.
No, Ice Cube isn't really that serious, and
in 94 though he was. This is like the height of his like gangster rap career.
Biz Markie and Bernie Mac aren't that serious, so yeah.
But he's very vulgar though. Bernie Mac did or was.
Yeah, but he wasn't too vulgar. I mean, he ended up having his own network television show.
Well, obviously he couldn't be vulgar in that. Yeah, you're right. I guess it would have been okay. I think Martin Lawrence would have been the
and Bernie Mac was good in the Ocean's 11 movies, and he was good in that Transformers movie. You know, so yeah,
I would have picked Martin Lawrence personally because I'm a Lawrence head. That's what we call us. Super fans call ourselves Lawrence head.
Oh, I know you've got that tattoo on your wrist.
I got the Lawrencers, or maybe the Lancer, or the Lancelot. We call them Lawrence a lot, not so Lancelot.
Yeah.
By the way, remember that movie Black Knight that he was in? Lawrence. So that's that. Did we ever review that? I know we keep talking about it. Did we ever do it?
We will soon.
Okay, good. I really want to. I want to review Black Knight. That's a good movie.
but yeah, the Lawrence heads. They're.
Or the Lawrencers, or Lawrence.
The Martin Lawrence heads, not to be confused with like the Joey and the Matthew Lawrence heads.
No. No. So what else happens in this movie, dude? Because I'm like ranting here.
So basically, the kid starts spending all the money.
Like you do.
Yeah, when he gets it, he buys a house, a castle. He outbids. He outbids coincidentally the bad guy.
Yep.
It's like, and then he like creates a character named Macintosh that he names after his computer.
That no one found.
Mr. Macintosh, and he speaks like a computer because he gets like this, early AI type voice thing to speak for him. So like we said, Shay is also it's actually a computer program called MacSpeak that was the voice thing I just read here.
Was it a real program, like in real life? Or that,
yeah, it's Plain Talk is the collective name for several speech synthesis. Macintalk is another one.
Oh,
okay. So another thing that's called it, and MacSpeak. It's a speech recognition technologies developed by Apple Inc. in 1990. Yeah, blah blah blah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it does sound like.
I've had things on my computers in the past where I've had it read books to me and stuff just for the hell of it.
Like, shit like that, like old programs, like are really fun to revisit. Like, after like at the time and stuff, it was kind of like you went through like several different phases, right? Where it's like it starts off with like, oh my god, this new technology is fucking amazing, and then technology gets better. And you're like, oh my god, I can't believe that I used to thought that was like state of the art technology. It's so primitive. But then you go full circle and you start liking that shit all over again. And so then you go back to the old technology because it's like you breathe new life into it. Like, for example, I've been listening to like old like fucking MIDI files. Like back in the day, like when your computer didn't have much space, you would have to like if I wanted to get like Metallica, for example. I couldn't really fit that many songs on my old computer. So I would have to and I couldn't really find ways to like download them. This is before like Napster and shit. I'm like super fucking old, dude. I mean, like, we both are kind of, unfortunately, not really, unfortunately, whatever it is, but it's but like, and it's so like you have to.
Vintage. We're vintage.
We're vintage, yeah. And so like you have to go to websites to download music, like which is fucking weird to explain to people like before Napster, before SoulSeek, before Kazaa, LimeWire, all those peer to peer sharing softwares. You actually literally had to go to websites to download music, hopefully not get a computer virus. There was a time where AOL chat rooms were a thing. I'm like really showing my age now. So like before, how do I even get on this? Before Napster, sorry, just let me get through this, and I'll go back to the movie. Let me get through it. So before Napster, you could go on AOL chat room. You go to a chat room, and there'd be a list. Like people's like open, like, hey, you say send list. You tag the owner of the chat room and say so and so save list, because back then AOL was like both email, chat room.
Before that, you know what you had to do?
What?
You had to go and see a band play in person and then kidnap them and keep them in your house and make them play the music whenever you wanted it.
That was really difficult to do, though, because you had to like feed them and shit like that, and like make sure they don't leave, like not full of misery shit on them, like break their legs or whatever. And then no.
That's actually really how the drummer from Def Leppard lost his one arm.
Oh, whoa.
He was into a wall.
That's terrible. That's terrible, man. No, for real, with the car accident. I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
So what you would do is you would tag the person that ran the chat, owned it, or started the chat room. You go blank send list. Because back then AOL had everything. Like you had an email address, you had like your instant messenger and a website stuff all within AOL. So like AOL was kind of like Facebook or like any kind of other social media stuff, email and like the World Wide Web, like all in one program or all in one software. It's kind of weird to think about it. Like no one does it really anymore, but like, and so they send it to your email address. They go, okay. Then they have a list of songs. You go, oh, it's interesting. I'll go. I want to get Metallica Seek and Destroy, whatever. That's song number 36. Then you go back in the chat room and say, so and so, then number 36. He then shoots it back to your email. Boom, you got the file. You can download the MP3 or whatever it is, and then that was how you would get your illegal contraband music via AOL. But this is super old because at this time, they literally actually hired real people to be TOS agents or terms of service agents, actual physical people going in line, going in. I mean, think about how primitive that is. I mean, it's nice because they got a job out of it, they got paid or whatever. But imagine how primitive that is, that you're hiring actual people to just go through chat rooms and write down the names of people. So it's like a speakeasy. Like they're like, toss alert. Everyone get on the chat room, toss alert. They're like, oh my god, they got on the chat room for me, write down my name on it.
So
anyway, you go.
So blank check.
So you go back to blank. Anyway, my point was about MIDI or something. I don't even remember what it was at this point. Go back to blank.
Keep going back to the point where we're all in horse and buggies or something.
Horse and buggy MIDIs, of course. I mean, you got to get the MIDI file of the horse and buggy.
Anyway,
I'm sorry, dude. Go ahead, man.
We used to have these little these monkeys on the side of the road that would play organs and.
I'm so sorry, dude. Feel free to cut some of this off for time.
No, I'm good. I like to leave.
My mind is so open today. Like as far as like any talking about anything, like I'm just like
so
totally. But yeah, what happens?
So in the movie, so he buys the house, the castle. He hires a driver, a limo driver, Henry, who acts kind of like a kid himself. Mm-hmm. But he says he's the assistant for Mr. McIntosh, and
everybody believes him.
Who the fuck would hire a 10-year-old to be their assistant?
Everybody believes the story without any questioning.
His excuse is that, that Macintosh didn't have that great of a childhood, so he wants to see somebody else have a great childhood, so he hires a 10-year-old as his assistant. But nobody finds it weird that a grown adult hired a 10-year-old to be their assistant, and his
just to live vicariously
parents don't even question this.
And to live vicariously. He only tells it to Henry, though. By the way, he doesn't use that argument to anyone else. So everyone else is just fine with it. They're like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense."
I'm saying,
like,
his parents don't even question this.
They don't. His dad does not fucking care at all. He's completely.
But then again, this was the time where people didn't care if their kids just hung out with Michael Jackson.
True, that's very true.
Yeah, nothing bad happened there. Oh yeah, it did. But
yeah,
I don't care what people say. People try to defend them, and I'm just like,
yeah.
So
it's so wild, man. That again, nobody gave a shit. They're like, "Oh yeah, it's totally normal that he's just working for this dude that nobody ever sees, talks to, and his name was Macintosh, and he just came into town and immediately deposited $1 million. I mean, took out $1 million in cash.
It's like
Castle.
It's like, this is my friend Macintosh, and this is his friend IBM. Like,
right?
Like it would be the stupidest name. Like,
oh my god! And there's this one scene. I'm sorry, dude. I can't get over the weird implications of this movie. I'm sorry. They're lodged in my mind. I can't get over it. Because the reason why is because there's it's not just the kiss. I keep going back to it's not just the kiss at the end. There's like 3 other things that lead up to that moment. So at one point, again, she's not suspicious at all at this point. She doesn't know about the Macintosh shit. She doesn't know about Preston yet. So she met Preston one time at the bank. An professional interaction, mind you, not personal, professional, that lasted maybe a minute tops. How many clients do you think she had throughout the entire day at the bank? 50, 100, something like that? She remembers his fucking name like 3 days later when she's jogging. Why would she know? Why would she remember his name? That's weird, right? Like, why would you remember the name of a 10-year-old kid that you met once at a bank for like fun?
On my devil's advocate here is, how many 10-year-olds go into the bank to try to open up a bank account?
True, but why would you remember their name? I don't know. Maybe she's just really good at remembering shit. I don't know.
She works for the FBI, so she's probably good at memorization.
Yeah, but she doesn't know that person's involved in this weird Macintosh shit.
No, but she probably just has the ability to remember people's names easily because of her FBI training that taught her that, but didn't teach her that it's not okay to kiss a 10-year-old.
Exactly. The training was complete. That was a weird thing too. Remember that other movie, Spy High, that we watched 2 years ago? That one was even weirder because in that one, Valerie was her name. Andrew was like 16, 17 at the time, so it wasn't as creepy as this. And she was like 23, so 31, 11. And like 23,
a little bit better at least.
Not as weird, I guess. Still kind of like, especially since whatever. She's the adult. I mean, she's the woman, so I guess everyone acts like it's okay, whatever. But whatever, it's not the thing, whatever. And then they say that, but like, which is not true, but that's what they say. And then but the difference with that one is that she was working for the FBI to take down this weird computer. British businessman, video game owner who wants to like create some like weird weapon, like basically like movie toy.
Be sure to check out our episode on that. Yeah.
Yes, please. The difference with that though is that she was talking to Andrew as a completely separate thing that had nothing to do with the job. Like she was just doing that on the side, apparently.
Yeah.
Who does that? Okay, I'm like analyze way too like overanalyzing these movies, but like that.
So anyways,
go ahead.
They basically have this this whole like, he keeps buying shit and everything, and he's gonna have a big birthday party for himself and Macintosh, who share the same birthday, but he ends up spending almost all of the money to do this. He's basically broke now. They have to shut down the party. Like, it's like this big fancy party for adults, and there's all these, I don't know where all these fucking adults came from that were invited to this party, because where did Macintosh's friends come from? He's not real. He's
not real, and then nobody gives a shit about him anyway. And And
But, like,
I still can't get over the kid aspect that they didn't think that this was weird of him just
Yeah.
working for him. Like, I can't get over that.
nobody questioned it really. I mean, I guess Henry did a little bit, but
But
so
even he's like, oh, that makes sense after he tells him the story about the no childhood or whatever. Like,
anyways, you know, the dad goes looking for him at the party and stuff.
yeah.
This was earlier on the movie. You know, we did have the date with Shay and
Oh my god,
Preston was kind of creepy.
Can I get into that? I'm sorry.
You can go ahead.
I'm sorry, dude. I can't. This movie traumatized me in so many ways because there was like 3 scenes of this movie that were so uncomfortable for me to watch. I was like barely getting past it. I'm like, ugh. So like he takes her out to a dinner. By the way, Henry is like teaching him like how to go on a date. He knows he's going on a date with a 31-year-old woman. Like,
the thing I don't know though, I mean, like later on, he's acknowledges the fact that Preston is into Shay, but at the time, I don't know if he knew that it was for this situation.
oh, all right.
Yeah, I don't know though. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell with this movie.
So he takes her out to like some fancy ass restaurant, like people eating lobster or some shit, I don't know. And then she's dressed, you know, really hot. Or I mean, it's hard to not be hot. She's just hot. You can't not be hot, but whatever. And so like, and then he's like taking Henry's advice and blah blah blah. Gives her like fucking bracelet or some shit or necklace, I don't know, something really fancy. And she's like, hey, I can't take this. I'm sorry. You know, it's really nice, whatever. And then he ends up fucking up somehow. The tablecloth gets on him, a bunch of crabs, whatever. They go out for burgers. I just can't over the fact why is she believing the story that he's working for Dutch? And why would he allow him to just go on his own to a restaurant with no adult supervision? I mean, aside from the woman that he's trying to date, and she
never asks about his parents.
She never asked about. Yeah, you're right. Never asked about. Never about his parents. One. So they go out for burgers, and then God damn. So they, you know, like in Friends, where like the water falls. I mean, the water shoots up or whatever, the fountains or whatever.
Yeah,
something like that was basically. And they're dancing in the rain or the fountains and laughing. They're playing like this like romantic, like upbeat pop music in the background. And then the bad guys show up and they're chasing them. He's like, fuck, so get in the van, get in the limo now. They rush in the limo. Her dress is skin high on her body, man. I mean, like, boom. And I'm like, oh, like, like, God, like, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, like, even, like, just scratch off the weirdness of it just from that aspect. From a physiological perspective, me myself personally, I was a late bloomer, right? So that wouldn't be. But like, if I'm in a movie and I'm going through like a hormonal stage, and I see a woman sitting right next to me, dressed completely wet, skin tight, what are they fucking doing to me? Like, you know, like, like what? Like, isn't this like wrong? Like, you know, in so many ways, like, like, am I wrong for thinking that? Like, I mean, like. I feel like this is like a weird form of sabotage of like a boy's mind and hormones and like also like a humiliation aspect to it.
I feel like he's going to need some therapy.
I think so too, because I know a lot of people make jokes about this stuff of like, oh well, oh, where was she when I was in high school or junior high or whatever? And it's like, yeah, okay, I get it. There was probably most straight boys fantasy at some point to get with like a hot teacher, but like there's a difference between fantasizing about something and then having it actually happen to you and then dealing with the weird emotional after effects of that thing happening. Because I guarantee you almost everyone who's gone through an experience like that, almost every single person is like, yeah, that really fucked me up for like a really long time. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like this like, oh, it's so awesome, you know, whatever. And so it's like, it's like, yeah, we get it. Okay, you know, it's whatever, fine. But like, it's just this movie's so bizarre. And then like, the way she's looking at him though, I don't know if that's just how she looks and she can't just change how she looks.
Yeah.
I don't know. She looks like so seductively, like, and I'm like, oh my God, dude, like, oh shit. And then like, So anyway, a bunch of stupid shit happens. I don't know. I keep focusing.
Basically, so we get to this party thing.
Yeah, the party.
He keeps looking for Shay at the party.
Of course.
But eventually, they his dad comes looking for him. Says like this heartfelt thing where he thinks he's talking to Macintosh, but Preston hears the whole thing and he's like, "Oh, my dad loves me." Even though he just ignored me and treated me like shit this whole movie. But basically Preston tells the party planner, played by Debbie Allen of all people. I'm sorry, this cast is weird.
That was weird.
Debbie Allen, who is like, Emmy Award winner.
I don't know.
So she's Felicia Rashad's from the Cosby Show's sister, first off, but she's also she's also like she produced and directed 83 of the 144 episodes of A Different World.
Oh wow.
She starred in the sitcom In the House. She's been on Grey's Anatomy. She was like a famous dancer. She's just like a brilliant human being. She's 76 now, but she's like basically done like everything. She was in like Roots, The Next Generation. She was in Good Times. She's Fame. She was really famous for Fame, for the movie Fame.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, and she choreographed a bunch of different things. It's just, I don't know. And I'm just like, and she's playing this weird character in this movie. And I'm like, Debbie Allen's in this movie.
Yeah.
And then you've also got Quigley is played by Miguel Ferrer, who is like an amazing actor. He's passed away, sadly. He's Rosemary Clooney's son and Jose Ferrer's son as well, and George Clooney's cousin. Wow. But yeah, it's and you've got Michael Lerner, who is a well-known actor from like a bunch of Coen Brothers movies. It's just like James Rehorn plays the dad. He's like in a lot of things.
Yeah,
it's such a weird cast. But anyways, back to this. So she leaves and tells everybody to take everything down from the party because he can't pay anymore because he's run out of money.
Yeah, because he was not a good accounting of his money.
Yeah,
shocker, a 10-year-old.
So he ends up being left alone at the house. Quigley, Biederman, and Juice. That's my law firm that I go to.
Quigley, Biederman. That's a good law firm name.
They handle all of my
injury lawyer. Call it Quigley, Biederman, and Juice.
Yes.
For your personal injury suit.
Quigley, Biederman, and Juice helped me out. I only thought I was going to get $1,000, and I got $1 million. But they gave me a blank check. Anyway, so anyways, they all try to they show up and they're trying to like catch Preston to get their money back, and so Preston goes into his like Kevin McAllister mode and beats it's totally Home Alone like, where he's playing all these different things to traps and stuff to get them, and throughout the property, he fends them off, and but they end up catching up to him. But then the FBI shows up with Shay, who reveals that she's an FBI agent.
Finally,
yes.
We know her real identity. I mean, we know, but now the characters know.
But because the house, he wanted the house and all that stuff, and so Quigley says that he's Macintosh.
Yeah, why did he think that would be a good idea? I don't even know what that was. Like a last ditch effort, I guess, or something like that. Like, but he was already, being looked at by the FBI because he was. That's why she joined the bank in the first place. Was
false identity and shit. Yeah. And then he just names another false identity.
I named Macintosh, which is like such like a common name. I mean, back computer,
Well, when I went when Quigley, Biederman, and Juice and I all went to court, and we were up against the lawyer McIntosh.
Lawyer, yeah, the evil lawyer back.
He beat us in court. It was, but you know what? I still like them, so I'm going to give them my seal of approval. No, so anyways, they were intending to charge McIntosh with all these crimes too, but they end up charging Quigley with them.
Duh, of course.
And Biederman and Juice as well.
This is after they almost drowned Preston in the pool, by the way.
Yeah. Preston, he bids Henry a farewell, and then he shares a goodbye kiss with Shay before returning to his family to celebrate his birthday.
I guess it was a happy birthday for him, but
and he realizes that money can't buy happiness. And
like
that the family that was basically not really important to the plot.
A moral that they introduced like 10 minutes before the movie ended, when the dad came in. Basically, it's like, he's like, can you come home? And he's like, he's like crying, I want to go home. And it's like tears through his eyes. And then he's like, wait, Dad. And somehow his dad's like super fast because he was only like 2 feet behind him, but he had already gotten his car and drove off. He's running after him, like, wow, it's a really fast dad. He's like, please make him come home, run away, just in case he does try to follow me. Okay, but my whole thing with that is, all right, what's I gonna say? Oh yeah, again, the whole thing about, so at one point, Preston got his brothers to work for quote McIntosh as well. He really wanted to humiliate them, essentially, and making them like wash go-karts, some bullshit or whatever. And so they caught on to the idea that Preston, likes gay or whatever, and they're kind of razzing him, being mean to him at the McIntosh birthday party. And at no point though, they're talking to him as though like they're saying she's a gold digger, and that she's only being nice to Preston because she wants to be with McIntosh. I'm like, okay, that's something that you would say to someone who's already an adult, and you're razzing them because that. Like, she wants McIntosh, not some little kid with the piggy bank. She shouldn't be wanting the little kid anyway, even if he is a bitch. like we're having the wrong conversation here. Like, yes. Like, why are we doing this?
Point.
We're missing the point here. And so, like, it's just, there's so many lines like this in this movie where I'm just like, it just grades on me because I'm like who approved of the script, and why did they play it off? That's the weird thing too. They made it sincere, which made it extra weird. They didn't even play it off for laughs. They made it like totally sincere, which is extra creepy that way, because it's like, oh, they're not even like going ha ha ha. Like, no, she's serious. Like, call me in 6 years. Like whoa. Like, I mean, she said 10, and then he got her down to 6, which would have made him 17 years old. Again, state of Texas, apparently that was age of consent. But a little bit difference is because she was in the position of authority when she met him, and she met him while he was underage, which muddies the waters a little bit. Anyway, but that's whatever.
Yeah, one day we'll see the sequel where they're married. And
by the way, you brought that up. I actually came up with an idea for a sequel actually the other day. Can I read it a little bit? Just it's not a whole lot.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome, thank you. I've been waiting to say this. So I came up with an alternate version ending of it, which would then move into a sequel years later. It's at the very end after she kisses him. Immediately she gets arrested on site because there's already a bunch of FBI agents surrounding her anyway. Kind of a bold move to do, to kiss a child in front of FBI agents, but hey, whatever. I guess she thought since she's one of them that she'd be the exemption to the rule or whatever, but I guess not. So then we could have her get arrested on site. Preston is like, no! As a CPS worker approaches him and throws a blanket around him, like so many weird movies do for some reason back in the 90s. I'm not sure why that was like a thing where you just put a blanket over someone. I don't know. She's like,
it makes sense because people, when you're in shock, you get cold.
Okay, I guess that makes sense. Yeah. And she's like, it's okay, Preston. She can't hurt you anymore. And he's like, hurt me. I love her. You took her from me. Then flash forward about 17 years or so later and have that scene be a memory. And Preston is sharing his story at a book reading. He said something like, what that social worker did was the best thing for me. Had I acted on my adolescent mindset, I would have ended up in a really bad place in life. she saved me from that pain. Then cut to the more you know type of graphic and sound. Then have like a secret ending where the agent apologized for kissing him and then wishes that she could apologize in person, but that she couldn't leave her state because, quote, reasons. And then I got like there's a whole boundary seminar going on where he's reading this book but then she's got a book that she's promoting where she's talking about what she learned from being the bad guy in a situation or whatever. And then like, here I go. I ran this through ChatGPT, but most of it's really just coming from
you. Need to flesh this out and present it to Disney and Karen Duffy and Brian Bonsall and maybe make this.
Yeah. And so I got another thing of maybe there could be a final arc scene where they are accidentally billed at the same time and have to share the stage, because more like a debate than a dual presentation. I can imagine Shay and Preston sitting across from each other in the quote green room, and she's like, "So are we going to talk about it or what?" And Preston smugly says, "I have no idea what you mean." Shay gets annoyed and says something like, "I didn't know what I was supposed to do, okay? We were literally inside a castle of dreams that you paid for with Quigley's stolen money. He had almost just drowned you in the pool for spending it all, and you'd always look so lonely because I never saw you with your peers. I wasn't trying to be weird or creepy about it." Then Preston could say something like, "Okay, that's fine, but why did you say, quote, call me in 10 years? That would have made you 41 and me 21. You still don't think that's a little odd?" Then Shay could say something like, while looking deadpan at the screen in the fourth wall busty manner, "I didn't think this through." Cut the end screen with the title "Blank Check to the Reconciliation," which is a double meaning because in the bookkeeping term, it's called reconciling the bank thing. Boom, there you go. Blank check 2.
So, in the real world here, so Jeffrey Katzenberg, who was working at Disney at the time, he basically, what's that?
The Young Turks guy, is that the same Katzenberg dude?
No.
I thought Jeffrey owned. Oh,
no, Jeffrey Katzenberg. Jeffrey Katzenberg went on to own what was it? Was it like Quibi or something? That short form.
Oh God, I remember that thing. Yeah.
But he also left Disney and started DreamWorks with Steven Spielberg and David Geffen. But anyways, if you ever want to look up videos about Jeffrey Katzenberg's contentious time at running Walt Disney Studios, it's really interesting. But anyways, so the disappointing box office returns for this movie made that was worse. Specifically, Katzenberg's top lieutenant begged him to move it from its planned 1994 release date of February 11th to a slot in March because they correctly analyzed that Ace Ventura: Pet Detective would be a hit when it opened on February 4th and not give room for other non-R-rated comedies to thrive. But Katzenberg didn't respect Jim Carrey or the film's director, Tom Shadyac, and outright refused to consider any scheduling changes for Blank Check. The Disney leadership was angry about this, and Katzenberg told them he wasn't interested in their complaints, which fed into the deterioration that led to him to leave Disney entirely in October of 1994. So this movie helped push Katzenberg out the door of Disney.
Wow. I mean, what a great reason, though, too. Because
so many people Michael Eisner and Jeffrey Katzenberg didn't get along, and they were working together at Disney.
Oh, really?
And supposedly, Lord Farquaad in Shrek was based on Michael Eisner, and different other things that they little jabs here and there. That's why Shrek is basically totally like a fuck you to Disney. That whole movie. Yeah.
I mean, that's such a powerful.
The thing is, neither one of these guys are good guys, so I can't stand or Eisner. They were both total pieces of shit who both did good for Disney and bad for Disney
at the same time, right? Yeah.
I mean, like if Katzenberg and others involved and Eisner were basically the ones that led to the Disney Renaissance with Little Mermaid, Aladdin, and Beauty and the Beast, and all those, So
right.
like the studio was basically on its last legs before those movies came out. So, and now it's like, the biggest company in the world. But yeah.
Yeah. I was right though. Jeffrey Katzenberg's Windcore invests $20 million in Young Turks back in 2017.
Oh, okay.
That's why
I thought you met somebody on the air at Young Turks.
No, I was thinking of someone else who he was another guy in the film. His grandfather was like a big filmmaker at the time. I forgot the guy.
Oh yeah, you're talking about Mankiewicz.
Derek Mankiewicz. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah,
I don't think he himself was in the movie industry.
The Mankiewicz family are completely like a dynasty in film writing. Like right, I think his great uncle wrote Citizen Kane and stuff like that. So yeah,
somehow him and Cenk became friends. I don't know how exactly that came about, but I think that they both lived in New Jersey at the time or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, I got confused. Yeah.
Yeah, but Katzenberg, I guess, you did have. But anyways, any other thoughts here on this? Another little piece of trivia before I stop talking here. Chris Farley and John Candy were both considered for the role of Henry.
I could see that. The way he was acting,
his
personality. I'm kind of glad though that they did choose him though.
What's his name? Rick Ducommun. It's Ducommun, however you say that. I liked him, and he sadly died early in life. Not real early, but he died in 2015 at age 62, which is still kind of early.
Pretty young.
But I always liked him. I mean, he was in The Burbs.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember now.
Supposedly, though, when he made the Burbs, he and Tom Hanks hated each other. But but I always liked him in The Burbs. Anyways, so that's all I got to say about this. Anything else you got to say?
No, I think I've already belabored my points. Like, yes. I bet you like half of this podcast is probably me just talking about the ending and all the weird
about the ending, and then the history of sound and
sound. The MIDI, of course, the MIDI and Napster and the AOL chat phone, the TOS agents that were actual physical people that went inside.
Yes,
all the stuff totally unimportant. But I'm having like a crazy ass ADHD day. I mean, like just
like I've been there.
I just cannot control like my thoughts.
Anyways, folks, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If
I did.
If you're 31, don't go out kissing 11-year-olds, and
don't do it, both for your sake and for their sake.
But do go to all2reeltoo.com and check out our links to our social media there, also to our TeePublic and to our Patreon. There's different ways you can help support the show there. Give us a 5-star review if you can. Give us a thumbs up if you can. Wherever you're listening to us, do the things that you do.
Like and subscribe, smash that like button.
Yes, hit the zoobity boo. Whatever it is. I don't know how all these things work. I just made up a word. Hit the zoobity doo.
Zoobity doo.
That's my new song. It's going to be coming out next year. It's going to be a smash hit. It's going to be called Hit the Zoobity Doo. And
I already like it.
Yeah. Hit the Zoobity Doo. Hit the Zoobity Dee. Yeah, see. It's going to be a banger, Everybody's going to cover it. There's going to be like a Sabrina Carpenter cover of it. It's going to be great. You'll be hearing it all over, folks.
Nice.
Or if you don't want to hear it, you can give us money.
That's a good extortion plan right there. Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, you pay us and we'll stop playing it. See? There you go.
But anyways,
folks, be funny from it.
Make sure you be different, be yourselves. Yep. Free Palestine.
Yep.
No human is illegal. Trans lives are human lives. Fuck the patriarchy. Fuck the oligarchy. Fuck ICE. Free Lebanon.
Yep.
Fuck genocide.
Yep.
It's not just on the side either, though. So, just making sure that people understand that. Yep. And remember that I love you.
Yep.
Again, kissing an 11-year-old boy is gross.
Yep.
and illegal.
Yep.
And in a Disney movie.
But apparently, as long as it's in a movie, it's not illegal, I guess. All right.
Yes. If it's in a Disney movie, it's okay.
So I'll let the people know that as long as you put something that to video, it's not illegal. Wait, what?
I mean, Disney made Pixar cut out a trans character from one of their cartoon shows or something,
Really?
but they'll allow this to be on Disney Plus. I don't understand this.
To be fair, though, there's like hundreds, perhaps thousands of titles on Disney. They probably don't even like pour through like everything they have on Disney. Like,
and to be fair, they still have Peter Pan on there with some of the worst depictions of Native American people ever in it too, and other movies as well that are very racially insensitive, like Aristocats and stuff and everything. Yeah. So yeah,
Aristocats is a good movie though.
Good movie, but the whole Siamese thing is just kind of gross.
I did not remember that, but now I do remember it after you mentioned it. I still have a commemorative cup that I drink from like Burger King or McDonald's back in the 90s. Like, that's one of my autistic cups. Like, I always drink stuff out of the same glass, and that's
nice.
That's one of the ones I drink from was the Aristocats McDonald's cup from like the early 90s. And
it is a good movie though. But
it is a good movie. It's very. Speaking of which, though, also too, Disney also had a kind of more related to this, but not really. This is like from the 60s. They had it was like, what was the movie? Like Tarzan or some shit. I don't remember what it was. No, it wasn't Romeo. I don't remember what it was. Basically, it was like somewhat of like a nude scene, I guess, and both characters were like underage at the time or some shit. Like they were like 16, 17 years old, and they just let it go through.
I mean, I know Romeo and Juliet did that, but that's not Disney.
Wasn't that? I know that they were trying to sue the company afterwards. I think that was mainly just for money, like because they're like in their 70s at the time. Like, why would now? What was it then? Was it Romeo and Juliet, or was it?
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with Disney.
It wasn't Disney then.
I don't think anybody ever sued over that either. So,
no, I did read something like a year ago. So, where one of the at least one of the actors.
It might have been. I don't know. Maybe it was the Blue Lagoon.
No, Olivia Hussey and Leonardo.
That was Romeo and Juliet. I didn't. Yeah.
Sue over 1968 films quote sexual abuse. Anyway, yeah, you're right. It wasn't.
Maybe, yeah, but that's not Disney. Yeah.
But it's still like interesting of how like the film industry was just like okay with this stuff.
Yeah,
like,
I think Olivia Hussey's passed away since then too.
This was from 2023. So like
I could be wrong. Oh no, I don't know. Maybe she didn't. I don't know. But anyways,
I'm sorry, dude. My today.
Like I said, I love you. Sesame loves you. And until next time.
I do. I love exactly. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to All2ReelToo podcast, a Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Hawes. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.